welcome you live to one of the most unpredictable races in NASCAR. It's the largest track and often full of the biggest wrecks, Talladega Superspeedway.
As the drone drops down to ride toward the start-finish line with 39 NASCAR Cup cars. Green flag at Talladega.
These guys have not had one lap of practice. Be mindful of that. First time they've heard their spotters in their ear is right now.
Well, they have a lot of responsibility right now, and that's, get yourself to track position. The guys in the front, you're going to see exactly what you saw right there. That block right up into that outside line. You're going to see the manufacturers try to get themselves together.
So the group that stopped were 6 of the Toyotas and half of the Chevrolets. We're told these are the trouble. One car wildly spinning up toward the top of the wall as 2 more go through the infield, including Keselowski and Blaney are involved in a miscue trying to get to pit road. And caution is out for the first time today.
Big damage for Keselowski. I think he's tore up the most. I think the right rear toe link is definitely broke on Blaney on the 12, but I think they can get that fixed. They stack up quick. That's 2 lanes of traffic and people staying out. You see Zane Smith pull up, and look how much faster they run those guys down. Busch gets in the back of Keselowski, turns him up the track. Damage on that Bowman car as well.
Yeah, and it looks like Kyle Busch was actually out of shape trying to slow down. Had to get on brakes too hard.
Well, look how fast they slowed down in front of him.
First caution of the day in Talladega. 9 laps to go in stage 1.
You're going to see him going at it now.
That's
Points
exactly
on the
right.
line.
That's exactly right. These guys know that they want to gather as many points as possible in this stage in case something happens in the next stage or at the end of the race.
Whoa! Something
there it
happened,
is.
all right.
Bell hard into the wall.
That is a huge hit. That was right there at the front. He had Hamlin, his teammate, pushing hard on the outside on the exit of turn 2. Let's see what happens here.
Christopher Bell on the radio says, I'm okay.
On the exit of turn 2 comes a little bit of a tap, kind of dancing across the back bumper, Kevin. He gets loose, gets into Buescher on the bottom.
Well, one thing with those Toyotas, the Toyotas are hard to push. I wrecked Tyler Reddick that very same way that Denny Hamlin just turned Christopher Bell right there off the front of his front bumper. And there's a little crown on the front of those front and rear bumpers of those Toyotas, and they're much harder to push than the Fords are. And
see how that wall comes out right there? He hit that thing almost head on. That is a huge hit. You see it start dancing across the back bumper.
Yeah, it's that side-to-side movement, and with that crown on the front and back bumper, when it went right, and when it came back to the left across the front bumper of Denny Hamlin with that little bit of bow on the back bumper, that's when it turns those cars sideways, when they start moving up and down like that.
And it just cleaned off the 17 from the inside of the front row.
Look at the radiator fly out of that car. You see that bottom lane making up a lot of ground right there. Bubba Wallace getting a push from Cody Ware.
Kyle Larson up top, who has never won at Talladega, trying to get the stage win here.
Well, he's tired of hearing that stat and wants to end that today.
He missed it again. You got to be careful of them blocks. It was too late again. That's 2 in a row.
Larson, Stenhouse from the middle. Larson coming down, trying to hold them all off and make that car 3 lanes wide. Kyle Larson, William Byron, 1-2 at the end of stage 1. Kyle Larson gets his first ever stage win at Talladega. Here come about half a dozen of them from mid-pack on
hold
back.
on to it. Whoa. Van Gisbergen slid all the way past all of them. I don't know. I don't think he got it stopped, Kevin.
And Chase Elliott too fast exiting pit road.
And those are the mistakes that we talk about, and we see them every single week, and it's just time after time. And we had Kyle Larson earlier. We've now seen Chase Elliott, SVG, all these guys getting those pit road speeding penalties, and under green it just absolutely destroys you.
So here, about 16 cars.
Oh, they're wrecking.
Leave
they're
pit
wrecking
road
off
together.
Pit road. They're wrecking off pit road.
Nemechek's around right there. No caution yet.
He fires it up.
Yellow, get rolling. We blend off at 2.
He's rolling. We stay green. Ford and Chevy on the bottom, Toyota and Ford in the middle row. The top row not a factor right now.
Yeah, and a lot of times what'll happen right here, they'll wait till they get about halfway to pit road and the exit of turn 4 before somebody starts to make a move.
Bubba Wallace moved down to the bottom, blocking the bottom lane. Momentum will come on the outside. Here comes Cindric.
Top lane trying to find some energy. Logano goes up to pick up Cindric.
Cindric had to lift.
Yes. And Logano drops all the way to the bottom. Here they come to the line. Bubba Wallace will get the stage win over Logano and Larson, who came back from a penalty to finish third. All right, not everybody's happy the way that stage ended. Here is car number 22.
Way to go, Austin. Way to go, you dumb. Way to go. What a stupid He just gave it to him. Gave a Toyota stage win. Nice job. Way to go. That's dumb.
Now this was after the stage end. Won by Bubba Wallace. And Joey giving a thumbs up, I believe, to his Penske teammate. And you heard the audio on the radio.
You see the run. He had to lift out of the gas. What happened? Look how bad they stacked up behind him. He was going to run him over. And one thing I want to point out is how far out of the box he pits as he's coming around Cindric here. Watch his tire carrier. Josh Berry's coming in the 21 car, but look how far out on pit road he is. Hits him, that tire right into his hip. Man, that's got to hurt. He was outside of his box too far. A lot of times you want to complete, like this line right here is the guide for the drivers, right? The 21 car, he knows to come in and not be on the inside of that line, but this car is way out too far.
Chase Elliott drive right up through traffic. Excuse me, pardon me, coming through.
About drove into a wreck. Woo, that was close.
Yikes. Anthony Alfredo.
That was a wreck that just didn't happen, Kevin.
Ready to head to pit road, and here they come, and boy, they got a lot of company.
Wow, Herbst coming around the outside of Denny Hamlin almost turned it around.
And the thing that these guys have going for them that's going to save them time is they're probably going to put in less fuel, correct, Larry?
Definitely less fuel because they have a shorter distance to go.
So that's all of the front row cars plus RFK, Kaulig, and a couple of others, 10 cars in all. Here comes almost the rest of the field to pit road. Josh Berry, the first car in. Oh, Josh Berry and Kyle Busch too fast exiting.
Man, it is something every week, every single week on that 8.
Cindric, Byron, Larson, Bowman, Elliott, the 4 Hendrick cars, nose to tail behind Austin Cindric. So
Ross Chastain in the 1 car right here. Cody Ware go to the bottom, and Ross fake a block right there. Denny Hamlin doesn't really know what to do, and Ross kind of faded down, and that slowed the whole Toyota group up. And they were never able to get all the way clear of this group. They were going to blow right by them.
32 times a race at Talladega has been decided by a last lap pass.
And this is why these people come in droves to Talladega. They're on their feet, guys. 3 to go, coming to 2 to go. It's time to make the moves. Who's going to make them, and when are they going to do it?
And right now it becomes really hard when you're the leader. The things start to speed up right here because everybody starts pushing and shoving a little bit harder.
Ford's up front. Chevy's in row 2. A Ford and a Chevy in each of rows 3, 4, and 5. 2 to go.
We have seen these front 2 cars take each other out before. It's going to be blocks. It's going to be pushing, side drafting, all the things in between. And it's because of the energy, the help behind them.
And by the time you get to the tri-oval on the last lap, you have no friends. It's every man for himself.
Well, and the big problem comes over these bumps going into turn 3 as these guys get super aggressive on this last lap. That's where a lot of the problems happen, when the cars start to bounce up and down and they're trying to push.
All right, Cindric eases it so Preece can pull alongside. That keeps the Chevrolets at bay. They're still too wide.
Watch
but
William
for
Byron.
how long as they come to the tri-oval and face the white flag?
Yeah, and you see Kyle Larson down there on the bottom of the racetrack doing everything that he can do to get a side draft off that 60 car Ryan Preece to pull him back.
You want to go now. If that caution comes out, the race is over. Zane Smith spit out. Ty Dillon is out. Here comes Hocevar.
And that'll affect the whole row up on the top.
Off turn 2 for the final time. Still 2 Fords in front of 2 Chevys. In front of a Chevy and a Ford 2 rows back. There's the bump from Larson, trying to get that number 2 out of the way so he can make a move. Who's going to come to the outside?
It's the gaps. The energy's going to come from the gaps. Watch him. See that 5 car slow down? He's trying to create a gap to get a run on him.
And there's those lap cars up in the front. That should help that bottom lane get a little bit of draft coming to the finish line.
Into the trial, the final time, jostling 3 wide behind the first 2 rows. Cindric, Preece at the line. Who?
Cindric. I like Cindric, and it's because of them lap cars in front of him. He had the upper hand with the cars in front. That was perfect timing for him.
Just a little bit of draft helped that bottom lane move forward.
Here it is, the run to the line behind those lap cars, and it is Austin Cindric beating Ryan Preece by about 3 feet for his 3rd career victory. 3rd career victory in his 125th start. He won at Gateway last June on Fox.